Ngā mana, ngā reo, ngā rō rangatira. Tēnā koutou, tēnā tātou katoa. Ki ngā kaiako a ka hoa a konga. Ki ngā kaitō toko hoki. Ka nui te mihi, kia koutou katoa. Nō reira, kia ora, hui hui mai tātou. So what I just said to you is to all of those gathered here today, I humbly greet you. I particularly acknowledge the faculty staff, my fellow students, and all those that have supported us in this degree. Once again, I greet and thank you all. The purpose of a valedictorian speech is hopefully not to put you all to sleep. It's to provide a sending off message, to reflect on the experiences that we've had over the course of our study together, and look forward to a future where it's not dominated by studying for our EMPA. So who else is feeling relief today that 2 years of hard work studying is finally over? Relief that finally we're free to enjoy our evenings and our weekends with friends and family, not having to worry about getting our next readings and assignments done. Finally, not having an excuse for not going to the gym, painting the house or getting the garden back under control. Today, I'm going to talk about the challenges that we've faced over the course of the program, some of the things that I've learnt, and why I'm grateful to have been part of the EMPA 2010 cohort. When I think back to nearly 2 years ago at that crazy week when we all met for the first time in Melbourne at DPV, I remember feeling both excited and terrified at the same time. I remember feeling excited and inspired by the way that public sector management was framed, the way complexities and the value of our work was so well articulated, and being able to see how alignment or misalignment of Alfred's elements of authorising environment, public value and operational capabilities played out in my own organisation. As cheesy as it sounds, it actually made me feel proud of the career choice I've made, which is no small feat given that I come from a Chinese family where I bucked the trend because I'm not a dentist or a doctor or a lawyer. I remember feeling overwhelmed by the intensity of that first residential course, where our time was fully committed with ANZSOG activities all day, every day. And we were working around the clock to pull together our group presentations to meet the extremely high standards we'd set for ourselves. I remember feeling plagued with self-doubt and lack of confidence in my own ability to undertake academic study at this stage in life. Luckily, I soon found out I wasn't the only one facing these doubts, and thankfully, the intensity of DPV was not matched in future residential courses. I also remember feeling trepidation by being surrounded by such a bunch of overachieving senior officials from across the public service. I felt well outside my comfort zone. I kept expecting someone to come up to me and ask me what I was doing on the course. It's been such a privilege to be able to work with you guys. I mean, the deep level of knowledge and experience and the opportunity to share our challenges and learning together has been great. The past 2 years has been particularly challenging for the New Zealand cohort. Coping with the impact of significant public sector changes, restructuring, redundancies, it's brought us closer together, and the personal and professional relationships we've formed, I feel, will outlast changes to the public sector landscape. February's earthquake in Christchurch happened during governing by the rules in Sydney. I want to acknowledge the work of a number of the New Zealand cohort in responding to and being part of the recovery effort in Christchurch. And I know that this has been a sacrifice for them because they had to defer completing a number of their papers. I also want to thank our Australian classmates who offered us support during a very difficult time. The past 2 years has also been full of changes for the Australian cohort. You guys have had a lot of elections. Commonwealth, New South Wales, Victoria, South Australia, and even Tasmania. and in some cases resulting in some pretty significant shifts in government. And on a more personal note, I'm aware of a number of ANZSOG babies that have been born over the course of our study. And I know that's challenged their parents' multitasking skills and ability to juggle commitments to the hilt. So what have I learnt from ANZSOG? Well, the grass isn't always greener in other jurisdictions. The case studies, the guest speakers, and the experiences of my classmates have given me a better understanding of how things operate in the real world. There are no easy answers to delivering public value. We just operate within different public sector contexts and constraints. I've gained a strong grounding in the fundamental theories and contemporary academic debates that affect public sector management. Better collaboration skills and skills in evidence-based analysis and decision-making. Enhanced strategic capability and capacity to network across government at all levels. So this has given me the tools to take a broader, multidisciplinary approach to government business and real-world problems. I feel more confident now to debate the issues and have developed a curiosity and a passion for what government should be doing. On reflection, the issue that people probably have the most strongest feelings about, whether positive or negative, is group work. So why does ANZSOG see group work as such a critical part of the EMPA experience? Well, ANZSOG emphasises collaborative learning because it requires persistence when facing adversity, a willingness to perform difficult tasks, greater social skills, and intrinsic motivation. Well, I've learnt a new term to describe a behaviour that sometimes occurs during group work: social loafing. Social loafing is the psychological phenomenon of people exerting less effort in a group to achieve a goal than when they work alone. It's closely linked to the concepts of the free rider theory and resulting sucker effect, which is an individual's reduction in effort to avoid pulling the weight of a fellow group member. But let's face it, whether you love group work or you absolutely hate it, it's probably delivered more personal insights about how you work in a team and cope with conflict than any of the excellent readings we've been given over the course of our studies. Because this is what we're going to face every day in our careers in government. I'm sure Zena is looking forward to reading these insights in your individual reflective essays for the work-based project. So to sum up, I'm grateful for the great networks and friendships we've formed across our cohort, the support of our family and friends in completing such a gruelling program of study, while still continuing to work in demanding leadership roles. I'm grateful for the opportunity to get out of the day-to-day reactive work and being given the space to think about issues more deeply and in a different way. I'm also grateful that New Zealand won the Rugby World Cup, so we didn't have to put up with taunts of 4 more years over the last couple of days. And finally, I'm grateful to be part of an alumni skilled at tackling public sector problems in the New Zealand and Australian context, who are better equipped to provide influential advice to our chief executives and ministers. So I would strongly recommend the EMPA to others across government, even if I am going to have to tell them they won't have a life for the next 2 years. So please join me now in thanking the academic and support staff of ANZSOG who've made this all possible. Ka mutu o kokorere ki runga e tēnei whakatoki. I conclude on the words of the following proverb. Whaia te iti ka horangi, ki te tuaho koe mihe moa te te. Pursue that which is precious, and do not be deterred by anything less than a lofty mountain. Nō reira, tēnā koutou, tēnā tātou katoa.
So thank you very much, Fleur, and our New Zealand colleagues. It just remains for me also to particularly thank our academic and administrative staff for their great contributions, and of course the work of our management administrative staff makes all the difference to good performance, not only by the academic side but also by all of you, because they are extraordinarily helpful people. At this program we have Linda, Rosie, Sam and Hilda, and behind